Welcome to another edition of Inside Titan Sports. I'm your host, Jeff Radcliffe, and today, like we do always, we'll get you caught up on all things Eastern Florida State College athletics. And on the schedule today, we will chat about the men's and women's basketball teams, which finally opened their seasons this coming weekend. But first, we begin with a top 10 ranked men's soccer team led by Oliver Twelvetrees and the man they call Wheels, Wilfred Williams. Welcome, guys, is coming off a very big week and winning 2 games in conference to put you in position to have a winner-take-all against Broward this weekend.
Yeah, it's a fantastic week for the lads. You know, we went down 2 games on the road against Broward and against ASA Miami. We ended up being victorious in both games to put us on top of the league coming into the big-time game on Friday night.
You get your first goal of the season in that ASA game, and it wasn't a goal that came in a traditional sense. Talk a little bit about that.
It was really weird because I got the ball and I had space. So as a left back, your job is to attack, and so I was attacking and I had the space, and I had a 1-2 combination with Yaya, and then kind of like a trip, and I fell and tackled the player, and the player tackled me. I was able to find the back of the net.
So when they say Wilfred's tripping, that's actually quite accurate. Very important 2 games because you kind of left it open with some results that you didn't like against ASA earlier this season. It was nice to get your vengeance, against them in a game that counted, that 6-1 victory.
Yeah, they're a little bit of a bogey team for us. You know, I'd say even though we won the game 6-1 against ASA, it was maybe even a closer game than the other 2. You know, we didn't have as many shots on target as we did in the previous 2 games that we drew and lost. So we took our chances in this game, but they played hard and they really gave us all we could handle for the first 2 games. But we were able to come out and play well and put our chances away, which has been the tale of our season. We've dominated every game we played, but there's some games we haven't been able to take our chances and put the ball in the back of the net. But in the game, obviously Wilfred started it off with his desire to lose the ball, then win it back, get the ball in the back of the net, and start it off for us. And then the goals started really to come, and we put on a bit of a show in the end of the second half.
So Wilfred, it's tied at half against ASA. What's halftime like when you know, okay, here we go again, and then you guys obviously respond with 5 more in the second half. But what was Coach like there at halftime?
I mean, his thing was just that the goals is going to come, and so like we knew that if we keep playing our game, that it's going to happen, and so we changed our formation. That we knew that if we spread them out, they wouldn't stop us. So we spread them wide, and then they were able to get to us. So that's how we were able to get our goals.
You got those goals from Dennis Hall, Yannick Kofi, Franco Massachesi, Yaya Cisse. A lot of familiar names and some new ones that really haven't had the goals contribution this year.
Yeah, Dennis is a very talented player from Port St. Lucie, and it was good. He won the penalty, converted it, and then scored another one late. And if he can bring that kind of performance, he'll be helpful for us down the stretch. And Franco, we know what a talented player he is, and he scored an absolute worldie of a goal as well, so that was nice. And even Yaya, who's been a very consistent performer but struggled with his final ball, put one in the back of the net as well, which was nice.
And to have that game mean so much, you had to beat Broward earlier in the week on Wednesday. It was a 4-2 victory in a game you had to constantly fight. You were down a goal, came back, down a goal, came back, and then kind of took control there. And talk a little bit about that Broward game as you get them for the second time, looking ahead to the next one.
That game really challenged us, and that's where we knew that we are not a team that no matter what happened, we'll always come back from anything. Like them scoring first, it was like it was an early goal, and so like it was just like we have to come back, and we scored, and then they scored. We just knew that it wasn't over yet, and so we kept fighting, and we got our goal, and that's how we were able to beat them.
What is Broward going to bring coming back? Is now they've been defeated twice by you. They know that there's an opening. There's a pathway for them to knock off the giants of the conference. What do you expect coming in? It's a game that's going to be televised live on WEFS, a 6 o'clock start on Friday. What do you expect when they come in here for this 3rd meeting?
It's going to be a very tough game. You know, it's a regional championship game on the line. That's why the boys play the game in terms of playing these big TV game. And if we're able to continue where we left off in our last game, Wilfred's able to neutralize their best attacking player. The Laren is He hasn't scored in 2 games against us, and that's down to this young man sitting next to me. So if he can do that and we can produce on the attacking side, then I think we'll get another victory. But certainly we need to be on our toes and make sure we're focused that it is a very, very big game. Just because we've beaten them twice doesn't mean we're going to have to just walk out into the pitch and it's going to happen again. So we've got to make sure we take it.
The Laren the coach refers to, the younger brother of Kyle Laren, and with 17 goals in MLS for Orlando City this year, he will be the walkaway winner of the Rookie of the Year. So how talented is he compared to what you've seen from Kyle? Because you watch MLS, you know what it's like. What are some of the things that you have to guard against?
With him, he's very talented. He's a player that if you give him too much space, that he's going to take you down. And so knowing that he's left-footed, and I'm left-footed as well, so my job is to not let him turn. And so I'm always on him. If I have to foul him, I'll foul him to get him out of his game. And so whatever it takes to to win the game is what it takes.
Oliver Wilford didn't come to you as a true center back. It's been a I would say you probably call it a work in progress, but really from the get-go, he's taken the opportunity and run with it, and has really come up big for you.
Certainly, we've needed his leadership back there, and he's produced. He's done well against the best attacking players that the teams we played had to offer, and he also gives us a little bit going forward. And we changed the system a little bit, so right now he's playing left side of a 3, which is actually probably his ideal situation. So he can still get involved in the attack, which his goal showed, but also he's still going to be matched up against their best attacking players.
Can we change your nickname maybe to Wheels to Mr. Versatility? That could be something?
Hey, whatever it is.
How do you think this helps you going forward? Because you're a sophomore, you're looking to move up to that next level at the next college. And how do you think this experience, number one, at Eastern Florida has helped, but also the formation change and the position change for you?
It helps a lot because when college coaches look at my resume, they don't just see me as one side player. They don't see me as just a left back. They see me as a player that, if I'm needed, I can play a center back role, I can play a left wing role, and if needed, hopefully not goalie, but if I can play a forward role as well. And so it's exciting. I'm glad that Coach was able to. At first, I didn't like it, but with Coach talking to me and me understanding how important it is, I was able to take it in.
Sure, coaches never like to look ahead, but fans and media members, we're allowed to do that. Say you get this win against Broward here on Friday, ahead the district tournament, which is going to present its own challenges as far as travel. Are you looking at that? And if so, what will present itself as far as challenges?
Sure. The winner of the game on Friday will go on to Lewisburg, who are hosting the district tournament. So the 1 team from Georgia, 2 teams from the Carolinas, and 1 team, hopefully us from Florida, will be going to that tournament with a place at national tournament at stake.
Was that the goal? When you set things out, is this kind of all in front of you? Is this at the point you're at the point of the season now where, okay, we can take this step. This is where we expected to be. And how is the mindset right now with you and the guys?
Honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way because, you want to fight for every moment. For us right now, every game is a game to win. We want to win every game going to national. So our goal is 6 games, and we get to the national finals. It's just 1 game at a time from now on.
Well, Wilford, good luck. Oliver, keep this thing going. Right now, 11-1-2 on the season, and in a top 10 ranking. They hope to move up and help that seeding as we go ahead to districts and nationals right around the corner. But got to beat Broward first. That game coming your way on Friday, WEFS, a 6 o'clock start. Game you're not going to want to miss. It should have a lot of excitement and a lot of implications. A winner-take-all game. Well, that's enough about soccer. When we come back, we'll go inside to the Titan Fieldhouse, talk a little women's basketball with head coach Jim Grimes and somebody he knows very well. Inside Titan Sports rolls on right after this.
Eastern Florida State College. This is where you discover new opportunities, where you pursue your dreams, and careers take flight. Apply now for new bachelor and associate degree programs in business, healthcare, computer technology, and other growing fields. Eastern Florida, where Titans rise. Apply today.
Welcome back to Inside Titan Sports. I'm your host, Jeff Radcliffe. We now turn our attention inside as the basketball program is about to begin their 2015-2016 season, and we will begin with the women's basketball program. Head coach Jim Grimes and a star shooter, a sophomore transfer from St. Thomas University, Emma Grimes. Welcome, your first appearance here on Inside Titan Sports. How are things going right now? We had Titan Madness this past week. You had a big preseason game, and then I know both of you are very, very excited about opening the season finally.
Yeah, Titan Madness was a great way to sort of open the basketball season for both the men's and the women's programs. Really special night to allow the community to come in and see what we have to offer. And there's a lot of fun, like, dunk contests and three-point contests. And I think the girls had a really, really good time playing, and I think the community that came in and watched us, it was all around, it was a really great night.
It was a unique format in that the men's and women's teams were kind of combined for a lot of these things, for a scrimmage and for three-point contests. How fun was that?
It was a lot of fun. It was fun playing with the guys because, we're girls, we don't dunk. Well, mostly we don't dunk. So it was fun to be able to throw some alley-oops and have a guy come out of nowhere and just dunk it, It was fun to play with each other, have some, extra athleticism. And then the competition between men and women, it's always, we
Sure.
draw with each other. So it was a lot of fun, and it brought us closer as a team, which I think also helps us in the long run.
Yeah, three-point competition went down to a single shot, if I read everything correctly, right?
It did. Emma won the women's competition, and then she went up against Kiani from the men's team, and she had that last shot on her hand to tie it and rimmed out.
So how big of a disappointment is that when you're talking about the battle of the sexes at that point?
I was disappointed, to be a little bit. I mean, to be honest, I didn't even know that shot was the winning one because I couldn't see. Yeah, I was in the zone and I couldn't see the scoreboard from that side, so I didn't know. I probably would have taken maybe a little extra second on it if I knew, but it's all right. It was all. Well, if it was meant to be, I would have won.
Sure. But the thing you got to take into account is you have the earlier rounds where you wear yourself out. You only have so many good shots in you, right?
Yeah, that's true. I remember my first shot was like really short, and I was like, "Whoa!" My legs had sort of, because I had been standing watching the guys for a while. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and it was just a good time for all of us.
And that loosens everybody up for a preseason game that you had against Southeastern, and you said some positives came out of that.
Yeah, I really feel good coming out of our preseason game with Southeastern. Southeastern's a really, really good basketball team. That's a 4-year school. They won 25 games last year, went to their national tournament, and they had a lot of returnees coming back. So they had a lot more experience, a lot of older players. And I thought we handled ourselves very well. We were able to come out with a win, which isn't the most important thing, but how we played, the energy we showed, especially the defensive energy we showed in the second half, was very, very encouraging moving forward.
Emma, you're from right in town, from Melbourne, Florida. You transfer in as a sophomore from St. Thomas. I'm just curious, what brings you to Eastern Florida State College? Because this will be a very unique answer. We ask this of all of our athletes.
Well, first of all, I just wanted to be at a place where it would be best for me as a player, to be able to play well and in a good system that I knew would fit me. And Eastern Florida does fit the way I play. Sure. It's a very good place for a shooter, which is good for me. And then, of course, I know the coach pretty well. He's my dad, so it's been fun playing for him so far. We haven't had too many problems yet.
Yeah, I'm sure it presents it's a rewarding challenge, but it is a challenge at that to kind of keep her as a player, not really as a daughter when you're out there on the court.
Yeah, it's so far so good on that. I think, it's I get that question a lot from most people who find out that I'm coaching her. And we've done a good job. I think both of us have done a good job of sort of compartmentalizing it. When she's out there, she's number 4, Emma Grimes, sophomore shooting guard. She's not my daughter necessarily. She calls me coach. And, I think we've done a really good job of balancing sort of that I'm her coach and her dad at the same time.
What's it like coming into a program that now has a tradition of winning and winning a championship last year? You kind of step right into something good that's already kind of built for you.
Yeah, it's been good so far. I mean, there is a lot of expectations for this year because of the success they had last year, but we as a team feed off of that. We love that. And, our process is just to do the Titan 4, which is tough, hard, smart together, and as long as we do those 4 things, I know we'll be fine, and I'm sure we'll exceed some of those expectations.
Shooting will be a strength. What else now that we're really just on the corner and right around the corner from the season opener? What things have impressed you and you're figuring out here about this group of women that you have?
Well, we really are encouraged by the depth we have versus our team from last season. And also, I think we're more athletic, which I think will really help us on the defensive end. I had several people come up to me after the Southeastern game, and they really saw some improvement in us on the defensive end, and that's something we really preach a lot. I thought we did a good job last year defensively, but not as good as I thought we could have. So I'm very encouraged by how we guarded it last weekend, and hopefully that'll be a sign of things to come.
The opener coming up Saturday against ASA Miami. I'm sure you and your teammates are excited to have something that finally counts.
Yes, sir, we are. We've been working for a long time, ever since summer. So we're really ready to have a game that does count, because we've played probably about 6 or 7 scrimmages and we're still 0-0. So it's definitely, it puts more pressure, but like I said before, we feed off of that, so we're really excited.
It's always a challenge when your season opener is not going to be as much film on a team like ASA Miami. What do you expect in this opener against them?
Yeah, it's a little bit challenging with them because it is early. So like you said, there isn't a lot of film, but also they're a brand new team. So this is the first year they've had a program. But Coach Medina is a really good coach. He's very well respected. I know he's going to have his kids very, very well prepared, and I know that we're going to have to play well to win on Saturday for sure.
We were talking, in the break before this segment, and we were talking about some of the people you look up to, some people you're fans of, and you mentioned John Cena. It's not one that usually comes to mind. Usually, it's more of a traditional sports star. What's the admiration there? Where does that come from?
Ever since I was little, he grew up a wrestling fan, so he sort of instilled it in all of us. I have 3 little sisters. We all watch wrestling. And ever since I was little, probably about 10 years old, I just loved John Cena. I can't say why, honestly. I always liked the way he was. He was the typical, face, good guy. So I think that's why I went towards him. But, I like what he stands for, hustle, loyalty, respect. I like that. But, yeah, I do love John Cena. I do.
Yeah, a very marketable person, of course, but no longer the champion. So that's got to be.
I was really bummed. Today's a rough day.
Would it be more rough if you don't win the opener? That's the question. Yeah. I'm certainly certain of that. And then here going forward, we always ask about this. What are the expectations here, early part of the season? What would constitute success here in the first couple of weeks?
Yeah, all we're really looking for is for our team to get better every day. We talk about stacking days. We want it when they go to bed tonight. I want them to be better than them when they woke up, and that's a day. Stack another day tomorrow, and the results are going to take care of themselves. We don't talk a lot about winning and losing. I don't like to define success by how much we win, how much we lose. I like to talk about how we play, the effort we give, and so I've got a team that I think is buying into that, and so we are laser focused on our process and not necessarily what results we get. Whatever results come, that's what we're going to deserve, and we'll take them.
Jim Grimes, head coach. Emma Grimes, star shooter. Thanks very much for joining us, and good luck in the opener Saturday against ASA. That's a 4 o'clock. Make sure 4 o'clock start. Make sure you're at the Titan Fieldhouse to cheer them on to their first victory of the season. Well, when we come back, we'll go to men's basketball, and one of the smartest people on campus, because he's a doctor, Lynn Cundiff, the assistant coach of the Titans, will join us here on Inside Titan Sports.
This is where we're building the future. This is where we meet the challenge, where leaders emerge and careers take flight. This is where you discover new opportunities. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where Titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Welcome back to Inside Titan Sports. I'm Jeff Radcliffe, and now we turn our attention to the men's basketball program, which opens its season this weekend as well with the Eastern Florida Halloween Classic. Ooh, scary. Now, not scary, one of the best in the business, the doctor, Lynn Cundiff, who is a first-year assistant under Jeremy Schulman, couldn't be here today. Welcome to the show for the first time.
Hey, thank you, Jeff. I'm glad to be here, and Halloween is always scary.
Especially for opponents of Eastern Florida.
Well, let's hope that's true, and it's going to be a great weekend. We're playing pretty well, and we look forward to growing and getting better, but we're inviting the fans to come in their Halloween costumes, and let's have a party. Let's get it off right as we start this thing.
USC Salkehatchie will be the opener on Friday, then Atlanta Metro. What's the challenge of playing two teams that obviously not in the conference, but you really may not know a lot about?
Well, we've seen a little film on them, and on both of them, and they both have talent, and it's early in the year, so you never know what's going to happen in being this early, but we hope we're going to be prepared and come out and have a couple of wins as we start out here, and we hope the fans have a great time with it. And I know Coach Jeremy is excited about opening the season. He had a great season last year, and we're pretty talented. We're pretty young, but we're pretty talented, and we think we can make some real inroads this year, not only in Florida, but nationally as well.
Talk about some of the players here that have really turned your head here in preseason.
Well, certainly we've had a couple of scrimmages, and we've played well at times, and then we've been gone walkabout at times too. When we didn't look like we knew what we were doing, but we're improving every day and getting better, and we think we're going to have a good weekend. This past Saturday, we had a great scrimmage at the University of Tampa, and there we had 4 or 5 kids that really played well. DeGeorgie really played well, and he's a sophomore coming back. He was an all-conference player last year. John, who's one of our shooting guards, actually redshirted last year for us, and he's going to be a starter for us as a team captain. He had 12 on Saturday for us. Really played well. We have some newcomers, CJ and Kareem out of Atlanta, CJ out of North Carolina, and we have BJ, who's a transfer from Akron. And BJ was a beast this weekend. He had 12 points and 11 boards and 5 assists, and really played well against the University of Tampa, and they're good. Yeah. And so we're really pleased about that. We're looking for 2 or 3 more of our players to really step up. Yeah. So we have some real depth, and we had a couple players hurt that we didn't play Saturday, but gosh, they really played well at times. They looked like a sophomore team at times, and then other times they looked like a freshman team, who hadn't really thought it all through yet. But we've made real progress in the last couple of weeks. We're really pleased.
Talk a little bit about Titan Madness. We talked with Jim and Emma about that. A fun time had by all, of course. A lot of fans coming in, and a unique format. And when the men got to play with the women a little bit and kind of integrated both staffs and both teams.
Yeah, it was really fun, and the gym was pretty much filled, and people were in, and they got some prizes, and there was one of our, not our ROTC, but one of our police academy students who hit a free throw and got some prizes just out of the stands and that kind of thing. It took a while for the half-court shots, but it was kind of fun playing with the women, and we could bring everybody together, and all the fans were there. And as Emma said earlier, they don't dunk, but they threw some great passes to some of our kids flying out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Got some dunks going, and the crowd got into it and was chanting and that kind of thing. So it was fun. It was a great night. We hope that same thing will carry over this Friday and Saturday as we bring people into the gym this time, hopefully in some Halloween costumes, and hopefully the gremlins don't come, at least for us.
No.
But
please don't throw water on them after midnight.
Yeah, exactly right. But we're going to have fun this weekend. I think we're going to play really well.
With your experience, these type of events, I'm sure this wasn't the norm, when you were winning a national championship back in 1978 with Independence, Kansas Community College. These kind of events, how much do they energize a fan base?
Well, I think they do, and especially in a place like ours where we're so spread out, because and things like this, your TV show and others, that help really let people know what's going on. But I think it really helps, because when they come and they have fun, and they see it's not a thing where they have to sit there and be quiet and not root for a team and that kind of thing like it is some places, that they can really get involved. And we want them to get involved on Friday night and Saturday afternoon with us as well, and be the same kind of crowd they were this past week when we had the madness.
Lynn, you're former NJCAA Coach of the Year. You've been coaching, we weren't going to say how long, but longer than most of us. What brings you to Eastern Florida State College at this point to join Coach Shulman's staff? I mean, because you're really a coaching legend at the junior college level.
Well, legends die with no friends usually, so I don't know about that. But I appreciate you saying that. I'm a retired college president. I retired in Arizona about a year and a half ago, and my wife and I didn't like the desert, and we wanted to find a place we wanted to live, and we came and visited the Space Coast down here where she had some relatives, and really kind of fell in love with it. If we didn't like it, our next stop was Costa Rica, quite frankly. Whoa. And but we did. We fell in love with it, and we moved here last April, and I sent just Coach Shulman a note, and I said, hey, I'm an old basketball coach with the emphasis on the old. I'd really like to be involved in the game. I don't want to run the program. I just want to work for you. You know, if you're interested, let me know. And pretty quickly, he let me know that he was interested. I went and met with him, and Coach Schumann really knows what he's doing, and he has his philosophy about the game and how it wants to be played and how things should go on, and I'm in tune with that, and it's a real pleasure to work for him. And for me, it's just a chance to get involved again with kids and a great program, and Eastern Florida is a really good school as well. So I'm really happy to be here.
What's the ceiling for this team? It's a team that's kind of owned the conference the last 3 seasons, really, and is now kind of a national contender. Is that the goal as a staff that you're talking about? That this is where we need to be. We need to be in the national tournament. We need to win the national tournament.
Well, that's always the goal, and that would certainly be my goal, and I know that's Coach Schulman's goal as well. This team has that capability. We'll see how it puts itself together. You know, over the series of 30 games or so, you have injuries, you have other things that go on. You play in hostile places. Mm-hmm. And we haven't really been tested yet from an adversity standpoint, and we'll see how we come back from adversity when you get hit a little bit and things aren't quite going your way, and can we overcome those kind of things? If we can really be good, and we can get to a national tournament, and once you get there, you always have a shot to win it. And I think we have enough talent. It's a question, you know, can we put it together? Can we be unselfish? Can we really adhere to our defensive principles and do the kind of things we need to do to get there? And we need 2 or 3 more players to step up. And when they do, our depth will really be good enough to take us there.
One of the challenges you'll have a very, very difficult schedule that's been put together. Yes. It includes a trip to Utah, of all places. Yes. You'll have the altitude and all that. But I'm sure that's something that can bring a team together when you have trips like that.
Well, I think it will, and we can really become a team because it's going to be difficult there. It's a small town, a small gym, and some good schools and a tough place to play. And we'll need to come together there, both before and after, to get to the next level. And so we're excited. We're excited about the season. We're excited about this weekend. But we've got bigger goals in mind, and we want to get there.
Oh, it's certainly a pleasure. Dr. Lynn Cundiff, the assistant coach for the men's basketball program. Again, they open the season this Friday, the Eastern Florida Holiday Classic, USC Salkehatchie. That's a 7 o'clock tip-off at the Titan Fieldhouse, and we'll play again on Saturday against Atlanta Metro. Make sure you check out this team, folks. It's going to be a very special season for Titans basketball. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have for Inside Titans Sports this week. For more information, you can always visit the website, easternflorida.edu/athletics, or better yet, join us each week on WEFS here on Inside Titans Sports. So for all my guests, Dr. Lynn Cundiff, Jim and Emma Grimes from women's basketball, Oliver Twelvetrees, Wilford Williams from the men's soccer program, I'm Jeff Radcliffe saying so long and thank you for joining us on Inside Titans Sports. Let's go Titans.